In the news, Troy Deeney rejects training on the Phase 1 of Project Restart. Whose side are you on? Two Premier League players get the most expensive haircut ever paid for. And one very handsome man and a bold man extend their contracts for one extra year at Chelsea. And is it okay to dance with your sister?
But the first bit of news today is Troy Deeney. Troy Deeney has come out and said he will not return to training because he fears for his family's health amid the coronavirus pandemic. Now, there's a few things I think we should actually add to this before we get into the nitty-gritty. Firstly, I think he has a 5-month-old son, and he actually suffered from breathing problems earlier on in his life. Since Troy Deeney's come out and said that, Mariappa, who's the only footballer in the Premier League so far who's come out and said he tested positive for coronavirus, Kante has also said he doesn't feel comfortable to train. I think Kante he fainted in training a little while ago, if you remember that. And in 2018, just before the World Cup, Kante's brother died of a heart attack, so he might have some further issues with that. So with all that information there, all piled up, what are your thoughts on this, Gary?
Oh, well, for me, my take on it is that, Troy Deeney, he absolutely has the right to decide not to come back to training. If he's got a 5-month-old baby who's having breathing difficulties, then absolutely. Look, if he's going to choose between the Premier League being bankrupt or at all risking his little son, then he's going to choose Premier League to be bankrupt every single day of the week. And all these stupid people who think that all he's doing is sitting out just so that he can get the Premier League cancelled so that Watford don't get relegated. That's just stupid. Get that out of your mind right away.
Can I just quickly ask, people actually said that?
People have been stupid enough to suggest that on Twitter. But I do understand the sentiment of quite a lot of people in the UK, right? Being back at training and at training centres is probably one of the safest working environments you can be in the UK. So they're disinfecting the training pitches. They have very strict guidelines between the players going from their homes and going to training and changing and making sure there's barely any contact, right? So a lot of people will be thinking, well, I've got to go to work. Why can't you go to work in this environment, which is probably 99% safer than all the work environments in the UK? So, but we know that the only unsustainable way is if football doesn't return, because the Premier League is going to go bankrupt if this doesn't continue.
Yeah, I mean, just so people will understand this, football isn't returning for sporting reasons. They are quick enough to cancel League One and League Two, or I think they're doing something special with League One, but they are quick enough to get them out of the way. And the Women's League, they cancelled that one. The Premier League is coming back, not because it's the right thing to do or to entertain the people or for sporting reasons. It's coming back for money.
And that is all it is. But the Premier League is so important to the economy in the UK. So we got to move on at some stage. So unfortunately for Troy Deeney, if you don't want to play, we just got to carry on without you. Yeah. In other news, Serge Aurier has been caught breaching lockdown rules for a third time, getting his barnet done by his own personal hairdresser.
Can I interrupt? Is that getting caught if you post a picture of yourself doing it? If anything, he's grasped himself up.
Yeah, he's been so confident that he grasped himself up. He doesn't think anything can happen to him, so he posted the picture anyway. But I didn't know this was the third breach. I counted. So the Mourinho training ground, random training in the park. What was the second one?
He was jogging with Musa Sissoko.
Oh, okay. That's not great either, but this is pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
And afterwards, so he doubled down on his stupidity. So if snitching on himself wasn't bad enough, he said, my hairdresser is negative and me too, so stop talking in a vacuum. Put on masks and gloves when you come to take pictures at a training centre. It's part of the rules too. He has no idea what he is doing. Like Jordan Ibe, he did the exact same thing and he realized his mistake. He deleted the post and that's kind of the end of it for him. But Aurier just doesn't seem to understand. Everyone's in lockdown, everyone's going through troubles, and you're sitting there posting a picture with your hairdresser. Oh, he's negative. That's not the point.
No.
That is not the point. And it's so frustrating because I genuinely believe footballers, for the amount they get paid now, the amount of people that watch them, and that's why they get paid so much, they should be role models. And he just doesn't get it. It's time and time again.
I agree. It's maddening. And like you said, he doubled down by defending himself where most people would have provided just a groveling apology. But no, he doubled down and defended himself, which I kind of borderline respect in a stupid, weird way, that he went all out with that. But at the very least, he did get a nice trim out of it. He risked all this backlash and getting fined by Tottenham, but it would have been terrible if he actually got a terrible Barnet. So at least that's one positive for him.
World's most expensive haircut, maybe, when you add on the fine?
Maybe. The hairdresser's not contributing to it. That's for certain.
In the next bit of news, it actually contains another man with spectacular hair. Olivier Giroud and Willy Caballero have both signed contract extensions at Chelsea. Or should I say, Chelsea have enabled their 1-year contract extensions. So, go on.
Well, when you said like a person with great hair, Willy Caballero has no hair, so he's completely negated Giroud's hair in that sense.
I thought you might be able to work that out for yourself, but let me just make it clear for you. Giroud has good hair.
Enough for the both of them. Yeah, it's a move where everyone sort of knew that was going to happen, and Chelsea are just doing it to protect the transfer value. But at the same time, it's kind of weird because they might not be able to offload them properly.
So I actually disagree. I don't think everyone did know that I was going to do it. As a matter of fact, I was quite sure that both Giroud and Caballero, the energy drink, will both be out the door.
Yeah.
Because yes, you're protecting the fee, but at the same time, it's a lot of money off the wage bill. And I still think one of them's going to go, and for at least one of them, I don't know which one yet, maybe both of them, but I do think that they've actually just extended that contract, as you say, to protect their fee and to get a little bit of money out of them rather than none.
I bet Giroud is absolutely devastated because he knows he's not going to get a shout out in the next season, and he's desperate to get into the European Championships. So I don't know. It's Giroud must be desperate to make a move now.
Yeah, I do wonder what's in store for him. I genuinely don't think they're going to be at the club come the end of the transfer window, whenever that is. But they're there. I think it's quite shrewd business by Chelsea. So we'll see what happens.
Right. Do we have any fun news?
We do. Now, I don't know if this is considered news, but it was one of the funniest analogies I've seen today. So I thought I'd just bring it in there. Spain boss, former Barcelona boss, Luis Enrique, said football without the fans is sadder than dancing with your sister.
It sounds like he had to go through that personal pain himself. He might not have been popular with the girls when he was at his school dance, so he's probably had to take his sister. Younger sister, older sister, doesn't matter. It all kind of sounds terrible.
Well, you know what? I went worse than that because I instantly just pictured, like, at a wedding, there's a first dance and the couple's dancing, and then at some weddings, the DJ's like, can everyone join the couple in their first dance now? And then you look around, every girl is taken. Even the girls that aren't taken, just like, no, not me. And then it's just your sister, and then you're just there, head down, just like...
No, don't do it. Don't do it. But we know the Germans are perfectly fine with doing it because they're playing without fans. So what does that say about them?
They're efficient. They don't care for the
whatever
fans.
Gets the job done. Dance with your sister, whatever. Let's do it.
But that's it. That's the news for today.
That is the news. All the best. Follow us on Fickle Sports on Instagram. Subscribe. See you next week.
See you later, guys. In the news today, Troy Deeney has said he will not return to training. Whose side are you on? 2 more Premier League players have broke down lockdown rules. Fuck. One more try. Okay. Shush. I'm going to do it this time. Lockdown rules.